Please no. Fucking hell.
Can't stop me. You can't stop me.
I can't because I'm not in the same room, so there's nothing I can do. I mean, I can edit it out. And I'll take out all the horns and just have you laughing afterwards, and it will sound like I just went, please no, then there was like 2 or 3 seconds of silence, and then you going, chuckling to yourself over nothing.
That's it. People will watch the video version, they'll see my mouth just going.
Moving. I'll make sure that's full screen so that it looks like you're just mouthing it. And then having a chuckle to yourself, well, they were silent horns, you didn't hear them.
That's it. Silent horns are the deadliest. Oh god! Wow!
Fucking hell, dude!
Welcome to NULLSCORE, a podcast where the news crews won't get off your damn lawn, even though you literally just reseeded that. My name is Hamish, and this is my co-host John Bones Jones. How does it feel to be both an MMA fighter and the butt of a JoJo reference?
I don't know who that is. I don't know if you came up with that because you thought it was funny and it's like a combination, or if it's actually.
No, I'm pretty sure John Bones Jones is an actual. He's an MMA bloke. John Jones. Jonathan Dwight Jones is an American professional mixed martial artist. There you go. Yeah, he's an MMA guy. He's a light heavyweight and 6'4".
Jesus.
In his Wikipedia page, it's like John Jones, right? And then he's got there's like a photo of him in a suit and it says Jones in 2014. And then it goes like born, blah, blah, blah. Other names, Bones.
Just Bones.
Yeah, it's literally it just says other names, Bones. It doesn't say. Yeah, it just says other names, Bones. His record is 26 wins out of 28 fights. That's pretty good.
That's pretty fucking good, man.
Yeah, 10 by knockout, 6 by submission, 10 by decision. Losses, 1 by disqualification, and 1 no contest. I don't know.
Seems like an insult to him to call me by his name, because my record would be reversed of that. Lost 26. Probably in a row.
Oh,
win like my first 2 against useless opponents, and then just to build confidence up, and then all right, here you go. Here's a real fight. Just get my ass kicked 26 times in a row.
They stop the fight and restart the fight just so that you can get your ass kicked again.
One of the fights was technically the same fight.
God dang.
Fucking hell. Where do you want to start, man? Where do you want to start with this shit?
I mean, we got a lot to talk about.
We don't have to do all this stuff. These are all just suggestions.
I think this week's really strangely flipped because you're very tuned into what happened this week, whereas I had a bit of a slow week. I was focusing on my own shit and I didn't have a lot of time to soak in the world.
Yeah. No, I've been spending a lot of time watching stuff at work, planning my fucking John Farnham comeback the last time. Remember when he did how many fucking last time concerts did he do? And he did 2 or 3 of them.
I don't know, man.
John Farnham's last tour 2 years later. He's doing another last tour, probably because he's broke as fuck now again.
Yeah. He's just burning all his money on coke and whatever.
He must be living on royalties now because he hasn't had another last time tour for a few years, I think. Probably just
maybe they just got sick of it. They just couldn't fit the bloody the diapers in the tour bus, you know.
The dude's a fucking fossil, so he's probably at home, turning into a rock.
Watch him start streaming. John Farnham, the last stream.
Oh no. Fuck. Put him in CS:GO and let him get fucking blasted by people.
CS:GO, mate. Farnham, he's all about Valorant for sure. For sure, he's on Valorant.
No, just once I want to see an old person who just slowly get them into games and get them sort of understanding how FPS games and stuff work, and then stick them into CS:GO and just let them get destroyed by voice chat. Oh god, they're not very friendly, are they?
What is it? I keep watching. So I watched this dude called Optimus lately. I've been watching a couple of his videos. He's just a commentary channel. He puts gameplay on in the background and talks about some stuff. And he talks about some interesting stuff, but he talks about God, who did he keeps making this joke about how this generation is soft, And the way that he basically makes that joke is he says, this generation would never survive Modern Warfare 2 lobbies. And I was like, I'm like, dang, dude, Modern Warfare 2 lobbies, that's where you get battle hardened, man. That's where we did our time. This is why I mute voice chat now.
Yeah, I remember that. Like I didn't really play any of it, but I'd be at friends' places and they're playing. And just listening to this shit, I was like, holy fuck, man, what's wrong with these people?
The best part is, like, even when you win in COD, you're still talking shit.
Yeah.
Like, if you lose, you're talking shit. If you win, you're
even
talking shit.
Even if you won and you did better than the other guy, he still fucked your mum.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, what I learned from video games,
and your trash
hand-eye
as well.
Coordination, resource management, and my mum's the town bike. That's what I learned.
Fucking hell. All right, let's fucking move to one of these topics. What do you want? What do you want to do? Do you want to do your one first that you added, since you seemed excited when you told me about it?
It's kind of just like, it's something just fluffy and easy to get into to start with.
By the way, there's something very sad about a grown man getting excited over Ninja.
Well, here's the thing, right? because I think grown man is actually an interesting point to start off on, because
listen, let's just ignore my shirt for now.
you got the He-Man shirt on.
Yeah, I'm wearing a fucking He-Man shirt.
Oh, the power of Grayskull. So basically, Ninja has been running these Fortnite tournaments lately, all right? So ever since he moved to Mixer, people keep giving him shit about viewers, blah, 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 whatever. Ninja's now running a tournament series, and the idea is that it runs for 6 weeks, and each week has an $80,000 prize. So we're looking at a prize pool of just under $500,000, right? $480,000. So big deal, right? Big deal. Tournament kicks off May 28. They broadcast the matches, and a duo won, because I think they run them in pairs. That's how Fortnite professional scene works. Mm-hmm. Or maybe it's perhaps in trio. Oh, no, excuse me. It is in trios. So pros, Anthony Zexro, Calandro, Macwood, Asoff, and Jonathan Kalk Weber won week 1. Apparently, they have a points system and they got points together. Anyway, the point being is that after these 3 won, they did like the post-match interview, right? Yep. And Zexro, who's one of the guys that was in the post-match interview, he has said something in the post-match interview that's then led to him apologizing, right?
Okay.
Because this is the order in which I found it out, and I feel like I want you to
say to me what it is, and I'll bleep it out if it's like.
Oh no! Well, I want you to experience it at the same pace that I did.
Okay.
I want to take you on the same journey I went on. Right?
All right.
So he ended up apologizing for the things that he said, right? Mm-hmm. And he puts out this tweet. He says, I'm actually really sorry about that. It was a really bad lapse in judgment. I didn't think in the moment, forgot there were kids watching, and even so, it was too far. Thank you to Ninja for hosting the tournament, and I'm sorry it ended on that sour note, right? So I'm sitting here and I'm like, dang, what does my man say? You know, is he just like swearing or something like that? Because it's like a broadcast for children, right? Like Ninja's audience is predominantly children, right? Because the Fortnite audience is predominantly children and
one Australian lawyer from Queensland.
Yeah. I didn't actually watch the tournament. I didn't watch Fortnite. And Ninja then responds to this and he says, congrats on your first and last Ninja Battles placement, right? Jesus. So he's like, you're never playing in this tournament ever again. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what on earth do you have to say, right, with what Zexro refers to as a really bad lapse in judgment that Ninja bans you from the future of this $500,000 tournament, right? I was like, what? So immediately my brain went, okay, he's either dropped an N-bomb or an R-bomb. That's the two things to me as a Twitch streamer.
Also F.
Yeah, well, F-bomb, yeah. Yeah. I mean, we can say fuck here. We say fuck all the time. But the other F-bomb. Yeah, you're right. So there is like...
gentleman who prefers the company of other gentlemen. Is that what you're trying to say?
It's been beaten into my head. Like, I mean, it's obviously just a good thing not to be saying it generally, but like, it's like the fear from Twitch TOS has absolutely permeated other elements of my life.
We're not on Twitch doing this.
That's
and
true.
we're not monetized on YouTube, so it doesn't really matter.
That's also true.
But
it could come up later. Anyway.
Okay.
I see all these tweets, right? I see all this controversy, and I'm like, well, I got to figure out what he said, right? What was his momentary lapse in judgment? All right. What was the momentary decision, the lapse that he made that led to him getting banned from this entire tournament series? You know what he said? He said, last FNCS didn't go too well, but I just made more than top 9 in it, right? So everyone that didn't place in top 10 can suck my dick. They're fucking shitters. I don't know why they talk shit. They're also dog shit and brain dead. That's all I'm saying.
Holy shit.
A momentary lapse in judgment. Jim.
What he means is he removed his filter for a second. And then, like, I bet you within 10 minutes, he was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But it's already been screenshot and fucking spread everywhere.
Yeah, so
It's not
there's
30 seconds of
literally
being posted. It's fucking everywhere.
Yeah. The clip was amazing. It was so good because there's like these
Holy
casters
shit.
and they're all like watching the broadcast and they're all sat there saying like, oh, congrats on winning the tournament. You did he won, by the way. He won $80,000 to split between him and his mates. And then they're all sitting there and he starts talking this mad shit and they're all like, I
feel like everyone else around him's like, dude, shut up. What are you doing?
It was amazing. But yeah, people were asking for TSM to drop him, and then he was like, I'll just leave myself. That was terrible. It was a PR nightmare. And honestly, I gotta give him props for that. I gotta give him props for the self-awareness, even if it is remarkably late. Cypher PK then talked about it. He said, low-key kind of sucks that a lot of big Fortnite names can be extremely short-sighted and immature with what they say or do, which, surprise, your audience is predominantly children.
Yeah, what do you expect from a bunch of people playing Fortnite, for fuck's sake? Like,
yeah, mainly because their fans are young and directly influenced by their actions. And then he says, some of them are still growing up themselves and figuring life out, to be fair. And, I mean, he didn't drop an N-bomb like the other FaZe kid, and he didn't drop an R-bomb, so he has some semblance of what to do in that scenario, like what's right and what's wrong. But you can't just open with anyone that didn't place in top 10 can suck my dick.
That's so good. It's so good, though. Go on, line up, all of you.
They're fucking shitters. I don't know why they talk shit. They're also dog shit and brain dead. I love that last bit as well, right?
They're dog shit and brain dead.
Maybe he's just a little bit grumpy, right? Maybe he's had a fight with some of these guys. He's like, everyone that didn't place top 10 could suck me off. These shitters. I don't know why they talk shit. And then he's just decided to throw in the extra kick. He's gone, they're also dog shit and brain dead. That's all, and then he ends it with, that's all I'm saying. That's it.
That's all I'm saying, yeah. I'm just going to
That's
fucking
enough.
go on this like mini rant, but that's all I'm saying.
I don't want to go over the top. I think that's all I want to say.
That's all I'm saying at the end, as if he was in some way restrained about all this. You know? He hasn't just unleashed this fucking tirade of
I'm exercising self-control, guys.
Yeah.
I just
tell us what you really think then.
It was phenomenal.
There.
It was phenomenal. So you can imagine when I found this out, like backwards, because I found out about the apology and the response first, and then I went back. It was incredible. I thought that he'd just been like, playing, doing a build battle or whatever.
All right,
he's like halfway up. He's like, yeah, but no.
So what do you like? How do you feel about that then? How do you feel about what he said?
What do you mean? I mean, I'm not particularly good at Fortnite. I'm not.
I just mean
like,
put it onto anything, but just apply it to any game that you play. Like say a custom tournament in PUBG or fucking Call of Duty, whatever.
No, it's garbage. You bloody. I think that is something that you say pre-match. I think if you say that pre-match, that's hilarious.
Or during, maybe. Like I think shit like that's acceptable during or pre-match, but afterwards you need to take the fucking Conor McGregor approach and just be respectful and like whether you win or lose doesn't matter.
Exactly. Just take the standard NRL player dialogue line and say, "Yep, the boys put their heart into the game today. Got to thank the team. Everyone did really well on the field today." You just give them the peanut butter sandwich, man. Just the standard shit.
Then once you're, not sitting with a microphone in front of your fucking face or whatever, once you're no longer being recorded, then you can start throw the middle finger those dudes fucking sucked hard. Fuck those guys. You can say whatever you want then.
You got a top 10 and 100 people competing? Guess that's 90 people sucking my dick.
Guess they're all lining up to get back on the short bus and...
Yeah, I think
you can say whatever you want once you're out of...
The doc's a pretty good example of that sort of stuff. Like, the ability to shit talk well in a public forum, that takes practice, I think. But
the doc has like his he thinks of that shit in advance, man, though, because like he has to have insults that are insulting to people.
Yeah,
but he obviously avoids certain words that would lose him sponsors and favor of Twitch and shit. He's very careful, I think, about what he does say. That's why he has all this shit beforehand. Like he probably writes a lot of this stuff down as he thinks of it. I feel like because if you watch enough of his stuff, you'll notice him saying the same things over and over.
Yeah.
Like he says the same shit. Not a lot of it, I think, is come up with on the fly.
No, he's probably the man's that well prepared. Like his streams are that high quality. I wouldn't be.
He's very surprised if much of that is off the cuff. Like because when you do that too much, you trip up like PewDiePie did. And you end up saying something
that's true. Yeah, then you're in trouble.
You're like, oh, fuck. God damn it. Did that really just come out of my mouth? Like, that happened to me playing with you in Blash a while back, remember? Really? And, Scav shot at us. We were going into the office in Big Red.
That's
Scav
right.
Shot at us.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm so glad I wasn't streaming when I said that. Because it's something that my dad uses as an insult all the time, like, towards me. And I'd been going there for pretty often to, like, fix something on my ute. So that word was just there, ready to go.
Yeah, I remember.
And it's not one that I use because, oh god, like probably the best friend I have in Perth is gay, so it wasn't like I don't know, man. Like I have no problem.
It's weird.
Anyone.
I think. Yeah, I think your dad's been, your dad's rough and tumble. He's been using that all of a sudden.
Oh, dude, he's the most bogan fucking person and. That's properly insulting for him. If you imply that he's gay, he'll arc up so quickly, roll himself for smoke. What do you fucking mean? What's that supposed to mean? He'd get shitty so quick. You've attacked his masculinity. You've attacked his heterosexuality.
He's very bogan.
Fucking hell. Just like shit like that. I think that happens to people. I've seen it happen to other people on the stream too. I've seen them drop the F-bomb. And I was like, Jesus. Like, I know that they're not like that, but they've just, it's just something that's just slipped out of them. Yeah.
But,
I'm waiting for you to do it. You'll say something. Eventually you'll say something and be like, oh God, I got to go. All right, guys, ending the stream. And then you delete the VOD straight away.
I wouldn't even say ending the stream. I'd just end it right there. Just get rid of it.
Just hit the button straight away.
Yeah, bloody. Is
that all about that tournament then? Like, so then Ninja's fucking
that's
told
about
this
it,
guy.
man. There's not a whole lot more to it. Like Ninja basically just comes in and says, "Yep, congrats on your first and last Ninja battles."
I mean, he has to. He kind of has to.
There's no way you can do that. Not with a tournament broadcasting to kids. You bloody. Yeah, you'd lose.
Well, he's the face of it, dude. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he's got his fucking name and face all over it. So his sponsors will be like, is this the kind of thing that we can come to expect in future? Because we don't really want to be part of that if that's the case.
Yeah, you'd have to be. Yeah. I mean, it's free publicity for him. It's not really good publicity, but yeah, I don't know. That's a rough one. What's this business you've got written down? You've got a couple.
There's a few. Which one do you want to know? Let's go with just following off the fucking alphabet community thing.
Oh my God, alphabet community. Go on. We're going to talk about Google employees. Is that what you saw?
So I just thought this was funny. The Bethesda picture. Go to the general discussion now, and you'll see what I mean.
All right. So this is the thing that you
tell me what the problem is here.
Okay, so before the stream, for those of you listening or watching, James put something in general chat and then immediately yelled at me and said, do not go and look at it. So I'm going and looking at it now. Okay, here we go. So Bethesda...
You see what's happening there?
So it's all of Bethesda's accounts, and the Bethesda logo is a grey square, or white square with a little black square cut out at the center.
Just before we go any further, can we just talk about how that is the dumbest, most lazy fucking logo ever? Like, it's just a white square with a black square in the middle. What the fuck is it even? What is it meant to be?
I also
like, is it
would
meant
not.
To...
if you showed me that, I wouldn't recognize it as Bethesda.
No, I wouldn't think it was Bethesda either. It's just a white square. It doesn't mean anything. I don't know what it's meant to be, but anyway, sorry for interrupting.
Yeah.
Go on.
That's fine. So basically, it's got all of it's got all of Bethesda's accounts, and the Bethesda ANZ, Bethesda France, and Bethesda Brazil accounts have all changed their logos so that it is a rainbow square with a white background, right? Clearly, this is a gay pride sort of thing, right? Mm-hmm. There is, however, one exception, being Bethesda Middle East, which has not changed its logo and has remained with the standard company colours of black and white. Mm-hmm. Look, perhaps one of their PR reps is just a little bit slow on the uptake. Or
maybe their PR rep in Middle East read this email that went globally and said, look, if we do this, we're probably all going to die inside of the next week. This office will get fucking raised.
How fast do we want to die? Yeah, so there you go. So Bethesda, not particularly consistent in its company's approach, but,
So there's been a bit of this going on with the whole Black Lives Matter thing, which I don't want to really talk about that in particular.
The riots and whatnot?
We're not there. Yeah. We don't know enough about it. Like, we're not... There's nothing like we have to say that would be useful about that, I think. All we would have would be information that we can gather off the internet.
I mean, the most of my knowledge is confined to, like, Indigenous people in custody. Like, Indigenous people make up a good majority of... I think it's like 1 in 4... deaths or something of people in custody, but I really don't know a huge amount. Yeah, it's pretty insane. They're like less than 2% of the population. They make up a quarter of deaths in custody. But I don't know enough about the George Floyd situation. Oh, wait. Well, no, that's a lie. They upgraded his degree of his murder.
I saw that pretty much everyone, all the officers there are all getting charged with something.
Yeah, so what happened is...
Do we want to talk about this? Like, I don't really. I just don't want to bring it like...
Yeah, maybe we skip over that. I think that's probably a bit heavy, but...
I just don't feel qualified to comment on it, really, that's all. And
I think it's better we probably do that with more preparation rather than off the cuff. So, yeah, it's not a matter of us disregarding it or not wanting to talk about it. I think it's more the fact that we're just not prepared. we don't have all the information.
I've seen people like... It's funny watching it go both ways, like mostly on Twitter. If you talk about it one way or the other.
We are trying so hard not to talk about it by talking about it right now.
Well, this isn't talking about the situation itself. I'm just talking about like what I'm watching happen on Twitter right now for the last however long.
Yeah.
So if you are white and you're talking about it, you have no place talking about it, and you're racist because you're commenting on the death of a black man by a white cop. If you don't talk about it, you're ignoring it, and you're racist because you're trying to cover it because you're white and you just don't want to draw attention to something bad. So it doesn't matter what you say or do. If you're white, you are just automatically racist.
That's Twitter for you, man. That's Twitter for you.
So, I mean, the only stance I can take on that is that, yes, sure, I'm white, but I live in a different country, a different fucking time zone, and I'm not clued into enough of it to say anything about it.
Yeah, we're not a part of the land of the fearful and heavily armed. Okay,
fearful and heavily armed. God damn it! If you want to, I mean, I can talk about my personal experience with Aborigines.
I feel like we want to go with that second.
Let's not.
What are you poking or roasted by your own fans?
Well, hang on. Before we move away from the Bethesda thing, other companies have been doing a similar thing. Someone pointed out because Disney posted a thing about it. Yeah, Disney posted a thing saying like how they're like, oh, we're going to be nicer to, I don't know, not be nicer to, make people more effort to make more effort to fucking prop up our black staff and actors and blah 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 whatever. And then people immediately started pointing out like, didn't you?
Isn't Walt Disney like super bad for this sort of thing?
He was. Walt wasn't. I don't know whether he was a Nazi sympathizer or whether he was like he just hated, I don't know, black people or Jews or something. I can't remember, but he was a racist dude. I remember that.
Yeah, there was something about it. Yeah.
I'd have to I can't remember exactly what it was, but it'd be easy to find out. Just go do a quick fucking search. But anyway,
well, I'm just
people were pointing out how
Disney racist and seeing what I come up with.
Some of the searches that we do for this are definitely landing us on watch lists. Like, anyway, so people were pointing out that Disney removed Finn, John Boyega, off a lot of posters that were in China. Like they reduced his role. Like,
oh wow!
Remember, they just because China doesn't like black people.
Jeez.
So he was just not on some of the posters. Some of them he was like, instead of being at the front because he's one of the main characters, he was like
he's up
one of the
back.
small. He was one of the little floating heads like behind everything, like up in the corner. So they're like, we celebrate black people, and immediately people are like, but didn't you like? Not really, because Chinese market, you've just basically removed Finn from all the promotional material.
Dude, Chinese money, man. There's there was so many things with Riot and Tencent where they had to change a whole bunch of stuff for release in different regions and the censoring that goes on with a lot of their public stuff. Yeah. It's pretty insane.
I mean, this kind of thing, like the Bethesda thing and the Disney thing, I kind of get it. You want to change your product to suit a market, but at the same time, you can't then go and say we're supporting this, let's in this case, it's just black,
or have
just
a trickle down approach. Get the fucking managers to do it in some different way. Don't have a coordinated campaign that's going to leave a glaring hole in your campaign. Yeah, just look.
Depending on where it is that we're marketing things. We either love black people or we don't care about them at all.
That's, look, as long as you're buying the game.
That's how it comes across, yeah. It's funny because if the internet didn't exist, they would get away with that.
Oh, yeah.
They'd get away with it 100%. But because everyone can see things globally now, and it's really fucking quick and easy to access.
You thought we weren't looking after Fallout 76, Bethesda? You thought we wouldn't notice. You thought we lost interest. Well, you were half right.
I saw somebody make the comment, Bethesda going gay for pay.
Jesus. Poor Bethesda.
Fucking it. We can move on whenever you like.
You make 6 or 7 good games and then you make one shit one and no one lets you forget about it.
One shit one. Dude, most of the Elder Scrolls games have been shit. They're shitty. Story is really good, okay? But gameplay and engine, fucking horrible. The fans fix them. only on PC as well.
That's true, actually.
The only thing
Skyrim
that keeps
modding
me interested in
community
Skyrim is
pretty
modding.
intense.
Yeah. Like, listen, it wasn't Bethesda who made it so that horses can have huge fucking dicks flopping around underneath them, okay? That was modders. Bethesda
And you know what? Bethesda didn't make flying Thomas the Tank engines that breathe fire, okay?
See, the flying Thomas is really funny, like the fucking horn and everything going off, but
Yep.
honestly, I think the Randy Savage one's better. Where he's
I was about to say the Randy
arms, like
Savage
fucking flapping, and you just hear him
Oh,
yelling,
yeah! Man, there has to be someone listening to this and being like, what the fuck is the Randy Savage mod? What's going on?
All you gotta do is search Randy Savage Skyrim and you'll see
Enjoy
some
yourself.
shit. You'll see some shit, man. Fucking hell.
Holy
All right,
moly.
Pokey then. Again, Pokey every week for the last fucking month. Okay, go on. Go on. What?
Halftime.
Is it actually fucking hell, man? Go on then. You're first this time.
Well, do you want a coffee that will make you immune to petty internet drama?
I already am, man, so I don't really need that. But do you want a coffee that'll make you... What the fuck? Did you change? Oh, no. Do you want a cup of coffee that'll make you think twice about your refund policies and remember all the times Australian law has fucked up companies who try to skirt around it? That's coming up soon. Doesn't make sense yet.
I had one here, but I'm going to change. I just want to change this one on the fly.
No.
Do you want a coffee that will make sure that you remember the order that you put your "Do you want a coffee" jokes in, so that you don't blame your co-host for your own fuck up?
You stuck that in between. You stuck that in between. I had mine one after the other, and you fucking put it in there to fuck with me. I don't know why you did that. Shit. Because normally yours are above, and I add mine beneath because I just can't be bothered. Like,
Yeah.
and you fucking put it in there to fuck with me. You did that on purpose.
Don't know what you're
That was
talking
good. It was
about.
good. I like that. That was a good one. You fucked me up properly. And I can't edit it out because it won't make sense.
All right. Well, do you want a coffee that'll make your thumbnails out of actual thumbs then?
What the fuck does that mean?
I mean, it's
What does that
self-explanatory,
mean?
Jim.
I don't understand that. Do you want a cup of coffee that'll give you the confidence to wear a He-Man shirt in public at 31 years of age and not give a fuck about the eye rolls you receive for it?
By the power of Grayskull.
It's hilarious, man. Like, it's not as if I'm going out for lunch and shit. It's like, I only really wear this bullshit if I just need to go into IGA or something quickly to grab shit. And the amount of times I've seen like these fucking dressed up. I haven't even had this shirt that long, but it's like since I've had this shirt, it started happening now. Like, I don't know how would you describe them? The chicks who get fucking super dressed up to go to the fucking supermarket. Like, what's wrong with you? Anyway, like, we're going to an IGA. We're both here just to grab whatever shit we want, and neither of us wants to interact with the other or even look at us. Like,
Yeah, I don't
just
feel like
just
I need
ignore
to,
me and do your shit.
I don't feel like I need to look professional to go and meet the fish fingers, you know?
Yeah. Like, I'm just here to fucking buy some sugar because I'm out, and then maybe I'm going to grab, like, a fucking pack of garbage chips or something. Just leave me alone. But, like, I'm walking through there, and it's like they see the shirt. This happened a couple of times. They looked at the logo on the shirt, and then it just, like, the look of, I don't know, disgust or, like, just like, oh, God. Maybe it's just how I look. Maybe it's just me.
Maybe it's.
But I've only noticed it when the times that I've worn this fucking shirt out.
Goddamn.
It's really fucking weird. Who fucking cares? Who the fuck cares?
No, I don't think anybody would if you're going out in public like that. But what's this go about Pokey getting roasted by your own fans?
Oh, it's because of the Gundam situation.
Is that still going?
Yeah, I guess the fallout from it. Like, I don't think Gundam really gives a shit now.
No,
he's been doing videos on other stuff, but he did do a video on this, I suppose, because it is funny.
Yeah.
She put a video. Oh, there's a video on YouTube. I can't remember which one it is because I haven't watched it because I don't watch her shit. But it was in his video. Everyone in the comments, like all the top comments, are people making jokes about her being unable to take criticism and going after Gundam, even
Like
though
her
he wasn't
YouTube
criticizing her. Yeah. Like in her YouTube video, they're all comments like just trashing her about being basically having such a fragile ego and getting shitty about it in the first place.
Oh no. Here we go. So reacting to fan art. She acts like nothing happened in the last 2 weeks. My cousin can take criticism better than you. She's 9, by the way. Can't take criticism. Goes after sponsors because you don't like the video. Queen of the simps. It's a Gundam in all caps. Pokimane really just be using her simps as a shield. Imagine being a millionaire and going after smaller creators' sponsors. This post was made by the Simp Protection Gang. Holy moly.
Yeah.
She's flogged in the comments. Good lord.
She deserves it though. That was really fucking stupid. Like the problem is she didn't watch the video. She says that it's 20 minutes, right? So what is 20 minutes of her time to actually do a little, like just the minimum amount of research, which would be to watch the video in the first place and see what it's about.
Dislike ratios are awful too. So there must be like review bombing her stuff.
Maybe.
Well, I'm going back through the last 4 of her videos. Yeah, so from May 8th, right, which is a month ago, her ratio is 38 up, 2K down. And then from May 14th, her ratio is 36 up, 4.3 down. And then 2 weeks ago, 31 up, 9K down. Nearly 10K down. Like nearly a 75% ratio, which is pretty insane. And then she's got 35 up, 5 down for her most recent one. But that one before that, the nearly 75% ratio is insane.
Well, that's why you don't do stupid things like that.
That's the court of public opinion for you, yeah. That'll
like if I made a video about you making fun of, I don't know,
all of the brass band noises that I make.
Not even. Like just
I need more coffee, man. I need
some
more
of your
killer
community,
coffee.
maybe. Some of your community.
Oh, wait, we forgot to do that.
We did. We just moved on.
We just moved on. We just made the coffee jokes and we were like, yep, cool.
All right, done. There's our fake sponsor spot. It's done.
That's it. Fake sponsor spot. Sponsor, not sponsored.
Man, my 1 kilo bag fucking turned up.
I
think last week. Might have been after we recorded.
Your 1 kilo bag of what, Jim?
Of Killer Coffee, Darker Side.
Oh, wow. Is that a good coffee, Jim?
Look, I've had 1 cup of Darker Side this morning, and then this is my 2nd cup, but this is the industrial blend because that's what I have at home here. Look, I'm pretty sure I'm going to reach a higher plane of existence soon.
God damn.
Like, I feel good, but also I feel terrible.
Yep. It feels exactly like death wobbles on a skateboard.
Yeah.
It's exhilarating, but also terrifying.
Like death wobbles on a skateboard, but like at a much higher speed. You're on the freeway, you're doing 100 Ks. There's cars all around you.
Bloody hell. And your skateboard's actually on fire. That's
at the back too, so you have to move towards the front.
Oh no.
Oh, fuck.
God damn. Yeah, so really she's still getting roasted for that, going after your sponsors and whatnot. It's an interesting development to see. Like this sort of like a vindictive cancel culture is growing smarter. Like people are understanding.
It's starting to backfire on people. Like,
yeah, it's not just simply a matter of, you calling her a piece of shit and telling your mates not to watch her stuff. Now it's like people will actively go out and attack sponsors and whatnot. And I think that's it's interesting. I don't necessarily agree with the idea that it's absolutely off limits and this is terrible. I think so if you send here's the difference in my eyes, right? If I'm a sponsor, right? Let's say that I own an excellent coffee company based out of Melbourne, right? And I want to sponsor a relatively tired-looking solicitor that streams as a hobby, okay? And that guy then goes and says, you know what? Coffee is actually the devil's water, and if you drink it, you're all going to be sent to hell, right? I would want to know as a sponsor if the guy that I was giving money to had that sort of opinion about coffee. What I don't want is my employees coming into work the following morning and saying, hey, boss, I'm getting death threats unless we drop this person from our list, right? I feel like if you just share about certain stuff that they've done, the sponsor's going to find out, right? Yeah. I don't think that there's any need for you or people to like deliberately attack them and shame
message them directly.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think even if you do, it's such a fine line. I think it's like if somebody sent. I think if somebody sent a message and they were like, hey, have you seen this clip? Like, I don't think I would have an issue with that, right? It's public forum. It's out in the public. You know, they can form their own opinion about it, right? You send a message and you go, how could you scumfuck Wait, what was the guy? What was that thing the guy said? The bloody, you're all dog shit. Whatever he said. You know? Be like, you're all dog shit for sponsoring this person. I'd be like, well, that's a bit rough. You know, it's not like they told, you know, it's not like the sponsor told them to act in a certain way.
Hell.
You know?
Yeah.
Don't attack sponsors is what I'm trying to say.
It's not like I still think the G Fuel and Keemstar thing was dumb. It's not like G Fuel was there's a rep standing right next to Keem and he just pointed at an old guy and said, he's a pedo, get him. And then the G Fuel rep was like, I'm from G Fuel and we approve this message. Like,
my name's Gary from G Fuel. We approve this message. Yeah. G Fuel's probably like,
they're probably standing on the sides. You know that fucking meme of the monkey puppet where it's like side eyeing and then looking straight ahead. They're probably like that. Like, oh god.
You know what it would be? It would be like I imagine their response is the meme where the two women are yelling at the cat and the women are like H3 fans. And then G Fuel's the cat like, huh?
Smudge. The cat's name's Smudge, by the way. Yeah, his name's Smudge.
I love that. Yeah, G Fuel is Smudge.
His owner puts a lot of stuff on Instagram. It's actually pretty funny, some of the fucking faces that he pulls.
I think definitely G Fuel is Smudge in that scenario. But God.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
What's this Sony getting fined business?
Oh, well, ACCC fined Sony $3.5 million over digital refunds.
So the ACCC, they're the Australia Consumer
fucking something.
They're the guys that they're
Competition and Consumer Commission.
Yeah, so these are the guys that step in for consumer-facing businesses. Mm-hmm. So they're like, these are the dudes that you ring up when, not necessarily Telstra, because Telstra is a telco, but like if, Sony is making products that, you know, explode in your house, or they're making $500 products that don't work, then the ACCC in Australia is how you get away with, you know, companies being unfair.
Yep.
I think that the ACCC was responsible for sorting out Steam refunds or something like that.
Yep. Yeah. It was almost the same thing. So I'm reading this from a Gizmodo article. I've dumped the link in the Discord. Mm-hmm. It's in podcast links.
Right, I'll have a look. Yep.
So I just want to read like a little bit of this and then we'll talk about it. So a case began in May last year. ACCC, Sailor went to CCC, announced its intentions to take Sony Europe to court. Sony has now been found guilty of misleading 4 customers who were told by a customer service representative that Sony was not required to refund games once they had been downloaded or if 14 days had passed since its purchase.
What?
I don't think that's quite right. Sony Europe has admitted liability and will also be contributing to the ACCC's legal costs. Consumer guarantee rights do not expire after a digital product has been downloaded and certainly do not disappear after 14 days or any other arbitrary date claimed by a game store or developer. ACCC Chair Rod Sims said in a statement.
Right.
Yep. Consumers can obtain a repair, replacement, or refund directly for products with a major fault from sellers and cannot simply be sent to a product developer, said Sims. Yeah, so if you fucking buy a game, download it, and then it's fucked, it doesn't work properly. Like, I think this is a little bit different on PC because of like the way that it build and the parts that you're using can conflict and cause all sorts of fucking weirdness and for games to not work. It's a bit different on consoles. You're using like the same set of equipment every fucking time, usually. So if a game doesn't work properly, Sony can't really say, well, sorry.
Yeah.
Too bad.
So the basic premise of this is so I know how this works. So this is based in contract law, and the way that it works is that basically what Sony is saying is if you have a problem with the game, you need to take it up with the developer. Otherwise, once you've downloaded the game or 14 days have passed, you don't have any right to refund. That's just simply not the case. Right?
No, Sony's selling it on their store, aren't they?
First of all, let's not gloss over the fact that they've put in to say that once the game has been fucking downloaded, that's when your consumer rights end. So if you purchase a digital copy of a game, the minute, like, it's literally like if you went to an EB Games and you paid $50 for, I don't know, Worms 13 or whatever the hell episode they're up to now, right? And then you have the game copy in your hands and the cashier takes the $50 and you're sitting there with it in your hands and you go, actually, you know what, mate? Do you mind if I just give this back to you and I'll take $50 store credit. I'll just grab another game, right? I've played enough Worms in my life. And the guy goes, sorry, mate, it's in your hands now. Nothing we can do about that. And he goes, okay, but there's no disc in this case either. I've literally just opened it up as I've talked to you and there's no disc in here. He goes, sorry, mate, case is in your hands. Nothing to be done about it.
Yeah, like, you've got that case in your hands. You could have removed that disc and lost it. Yeah, we don't know.
Exactly. So a download for a digital copy is exactly the same as having it in your hands as a physical copy. And so what Sony is saying is, well, if there's a major fault, once it's been downloaded, not our problem. We're just the guy that sold it to you. Take it up with the guys that make Worms. You know, like, first of all, no one knows who makes Worms. Like, it's
Team
Worms
17.
is Worms. Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I'm old. I've played a lot of Worms games.
But like, yeah, so this idea of repair, replacement or refund is a major consumer right. And what he talks about with consumer guarantees is there's basically standards where if you want to sell a product, you have to have that product to a certain standard, which is obviously subjective. It's based on the price of the product and what it's supposed to do and yada, yada, yada. But you have a right to refunds in various scenarios. And the ACCC is pretty dogged about this sort of thing. They will really kick up a fuss. Mm-hmm. So there you go. So the ACCC fined Valve back in 2016. Yeah, for Steam that, refused to provide refunds. And that actually ended up in the High Court, by the way, which is the highest jurisdiction you can have in Australia. But what is particularly interesting, what I really like about this is this is a civil case, right? Not only did the ACCC win, the ACCC got awarded costs, right? Costs is when the other guy has to pay your legal fees.
Yeah. Yep.
And more often than not, that's when you win convincingly.
Yeah.
You can get costs.
Why even try this? That's the reason that I wanted to talk about it to begin with, was that it seems like this is happening once every year or two.
Because they make more than $3 million to do this sort of bullshit.
Yeah, but I mean, like, why bother? Why not just give the refunds? Because every time that this happens and it comes out, more people hear about it. And then more people who go for refunds are going to go, just give me my refund, please. I'm within my rights. And they say no. I'm just going to go, okay, well, I'm just going to pass this on.
It's
just
pretty
gonna pass this
common.
on and-
Yeah, it's pretty common procedure, but like more often than not, they'll just make more money by not doing these refunds and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, sure, they're going to get into a lawsuit and people are going to pick a fight about it, but for every lawsuit, there's, thousands and thousands of people who just don't give enough of a shit.
Yeah. Like if it's only $20 or something, they're like, oh, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, and when you're a company like Sony with PlayStations in millions upon millions of households, then that's a lot of money. $3 million fines, not a whole lot.
Well, I mean, this happened. It's very similar. It's not really similar, but like the situation you're describing is probably a little bit similar. There's been investigations into price fixing for RAM, or more specifically, like the little flash fucking modules. I think like RAM was stupidly priced. It happened with DDR3 and it happened again with DDR4. I think it's Hynix, Samsung, and I can't remember who the other. There's one other who there's three main manufacturers for like the little thing, the little fucking whatever they are.
Yeah, the sticks, yeah.
Not the sticks, but the stuff that goes the little fucking whatever they are. The memory little module things themselves, because they use them on RAM, they use them in SSDs, they use them in all sorts of shit, flash drives and stuff. Anyway.
Yep.
The three of them colluded to basically jack up prices of RAM to make fucking money off it.
Yeah, no, you can't. That's no.
I know you can't, but they did.
That's a big.
They got caught out and fined fucking millions of dollars.
Yeah.
But I think because it worked, because they made so much money off doing it with DDR3, when there was a problem, I think it was like, was it Taiwan or fucking somewhere, there was like floods and shit, there was storms and floods and shit, and it fucked the factories up. So RAM was kind of hard to get for a little while, and when what you could get was expensive. After they'd fixed those factories up and everything, the price didn't go down, didn't go back down, like didn't normalize, it just stayed high. And they were accused of purposefully restricting supply and also keeping prices up. So I think what happened was DDR3, they got away with it with DDR3 for long enough that they made so much fucking money, they could only prove... Yeah, they just didn't give a fuck. Like, well, yeah, it cost us like X amount of million to settle this last time, but we made 10 times that. They couldn't prove enough to like fine us for everything, so fuck it, we'll just do it again. We'll get fined and shit, but we'll make more than...
Yeah, in civil matters, they have like punitive measures exactly for this reason. Like, they have an open slather as to the amount that they can fine companies and stuff, because the idea is just to make it sting. That's what they need to do is, like if a Google employee gets a speeding ticket, it's much different to someone like me getting a speeding ticket, right? Somebody that earns, $300,000 a year as a bloody developer for Google, if not more, let's be real. A $300 fine, they don't give a shit, right? Like for a criminal matter.
Whereas I was talking about this with someone else as well. Keep going.
Yeah, but with a civil matter, they have no ceiling. So whilst I might get fined $300, they might get fined $30,000 because the sting is the same. So, or that's the way that it works in theory. So the idea is to discourage companies from conducting activities in such a manner where the fine that they would have to pay is a calculated amount. Like if they could just factor the fine in. Oh my God. Shit, I need more coffee. If they can factor the fine in and then they can just, make a profit on top of that, then what's the point in the fine in the first place? So, yeah, the fine has to have a discouraging effect. So nowadays, I think a lot of these sort of things have no ceiling for them. Yeah.
So I've just chased this up because I remember this would be like 3-4 years ago. Be close to 4 years ago now that I read about it the first time. DRAM price fixing.
There you go. So you've got it.
Yeah. So Samsung and Hynix were both fined by the US and EU for price fixing practices between 1999 and 2002. Samsung, Hynix, Micron, that's the other one I was forgetting. Revenues for Samsung, Hynix, and Micron doubled between Q1 2016 and Q3 2017, with a 47% increase in 2017, the largest in 30 years.
Jesus.
And they go through all the pricing here of RAM and stuff. They're being sued again. This article's 2 years old now. So yeah, I missed it because I just didn't care anymore. I'd already bought the RAM that I needed and just didn't give a shit about the prices. But yeah, they did it again. They fucking did it again.
God damn, dude.
For fuck's sake, man. Like they must be making more than they're being fined, or else why would you do it?
Well, that's it. Yeah.
Like, obviously, it's not fucking working. For that kind of thing, I feel like there should be, like you're saying, you know, the fine needs to have a discouraging effect. It has to sting. It has to stop them from wanting to do this again. Clearly, the last, you know, twice now they've done this at least. There was older ones too. I'm not sure if it was the same companies, but not the first time. So wouldn't you think that, like, this time, if this is going to be an ongoing thing, they just keep doing it, wouldn't you just say, all right, well, here's what the RAM should have been priced at. Here's what, you know, our experts figured out that it should have been if you hadn't been fucking scumbags about it. So every cent beyond what you should have made is now forfeit. We're taking that all. You're being fined every fucking bit of what you shouldn't have received. Everything that you scummed off people.
Yeah. There's a lot of reason for doing this sort of stuff. Yeah.
It's just it's hilarious to me that they did it years ago, and then they're like, I don't know, 13 years or whatever it is later, they're like, what if we just did it again? What if we just did
What if we just do it again?
Like, we got fined, but we made it money last time, so let's just, you know, people have forgotten.
Yeah, we'll just do it again.
All on the internet, but fucking no one will remember that thing that's hundreds and thousands of fucking articles all over the internet and a Wikipedia page dedicated to it. No one will remember.
No. Well, they would have all forgotten. We're fine, boys.
We're talking about. I was talking about speeding fines with someone.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about earlier. That kind of ties into this. Where I remember overhearing a conversation. There was a couple of people about to walk out of I'm guessing it was like a place that you can drink there, but you can't like take your drink out onto the street because you get fined or whatever. I don't know what the fine is. Is there a fine for public drinking? I don't know whether it's different over there than it is for WA.
Open container laws.
Yeah. So whatever
you're
the
not supposed to have an open alcoholic beverage in public. So you're supposed to be on a licensed premises.
Yeah. So you're supposed to be.
So if only the interior of the place is licensed, then you can't take it to the exterior.
So these two guys looked kind of like they'd be lawyer mates of yours. That's how I would describe the way that they looked. Still dressed up in their work clothes. Anyway, one of them finishes his beer and puts it down. He goes to walk off, and the other one just picks up his bottle and goes to walk out. He's like, "Well, what are you doing? Like, you finish it, or we can't. Like, you can't." And he said, "No, it's okay." He's like, "No, it isn't, mate." It's like, "Yeah, it'll just cost me a couple $100. That's all." Like that's how he views that. He makes enough money that doesn't matter.
He doesn't give a shit.
Doesn't care. So for me, that's like, fuck, man. I don't want to lose a couple $100 just because I was walking around with
That's like 4 cases of beer, dude.
shitty fucking pre-mixed drink. Like, why even? Like, I'm not going to get into shitty pre-mixed jacks. Just that's a conversation I don't want to have.
You just drank one beer for the cost of what, 92?
Yeah, but yeah, that's how this guy viewed that. It's just. It does not that I will get fined. I will be punished for doing this. His view of it was, it costs this amount of money to drink in public.
Yep.
Like,
yeah. So this is why, it's different for criminal and civil matters, but that's why civil matters especially, they have punitive measures because companies make, to put it bluntly, fuckloads of money.
Well, yeah.
So they don't care.
How many fucking fingers? How many pies has Samsung got its many fingers into?
Yeah, I mean, like if you look at like that's also like as a company, you can take responsibility for employees speeding in certain circumstances.
Yeah,
but the fines for companies are way bigger. It's like $10,000. So
I had an old boss who used to tell me not to speed. This is when I was like delivering fucking white goods and shit. He used to tell me not to speed, but also get there as soon as possible. I'm like, well, do you want me to speed or not?
Get there as soon as possible within the confines of the law.
in this fucking garbage truck that you want me to drive, that is a 45-minute trip. But you're giving me half an hour to get there. So do you want me to speed or not? Are you going to pay my speeding fine? He'll say, yeah, but you take the points. I'm like, well, then I'm not going to fucking speed. I'm not going to do that. Like, the points are worse than the fucking fine, really, because if I get too many of those, I don't have a license.
Yeah,
Are you going to still employ me when I can't drive for you anymore?
Yeah. I think a lot of people forget that. It's like, you don't want to give up the points. The points are infinitely more valuable than the money.
They take, 2 or 3 years to fucking, like,
5.
reset? 5? No, fuck me, dude. Like, that's a big deal.
Yeah, so I don't know what it's like in WA, but in Queensland, if you accumulate 12 demerit points in a 5-year period, then you are...
then you have to go to court if you want your license, if you want an exemption or fucking whatever. Otherwise, you just don't have a license. Yeah, no, that takes a lot longer to recover from than...
I'm pretty sure.
A couple $100 fine or whatever. I think
I hope I don't have that wrong.
I think 10Ks or more over is 2 points and a $200 fine here.
Yeah.
Those 2 points mean more to me than the $200. I can recover from the $200 pretty quickly. But those 2 points are going to fucking be there for a while.
Oh, excuse me. So if you get 12 demerit points in a 3-year period, I said 5 years. That's wrong. It's 3 years.
Yeah, I thought it was 2, but I wasn't sure if it was actually 3.
It must be 3-year period, and there's a suspension period that depends upon the number of points you get. So if you get 12 to 15 demerit points, you get a 3-month suspension. 16 to 19 demerit. Yeah, so between 16 and 19 points, you get a 4-month suspension. 20 or more, you get a 5-month suspension.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah. So if you...
Oh, boy.
There you go. So demerit points, guys, don't commit traffic offences. The Transport Operation and Road Use Management Act is a bitch.
I'm just annoyed that... they changed this to like 1 kilometer over, 1 or 2, the zero tolerance thing with like 1 kilometer over. That's it. You're getting a fine. Like, man, my fucking speedo isn't that accurate. No speedos are fucking like that accurate usually. How can you're relying on the accuracy of the vehicle's instruments to not speed? Like, what am I supposed to do then? Just 5Ks under all the time.
Well, didn't it used to be a tolerance of 3?
Yeah, sure it's like 3 or 4 or something, I think. Not they changed it a while back, a couple of years ago, I think.
Yeah. So now they're just not doing it that way anymore.
Well, it's all that means is just I all that happened was people use apps now. A lot of people here, at least, I think, use apps to report the fucking speed camera locations to each other.
Yes.
Like you just use Waze or whatever, and it just tells you, it just fucking tells you where they are, and you just slow down a bit.
Yep.
That's it.
Sorted.
And then what? I mean, that just encourages speeding because now you know where they are. So the roads where there's no fucking speed cameras reported probably doesn't have a speed camera. Off you go, mate.
But see, since the advent of Waze, they've got far less like smaller speeding fines, but they've had a sharp uptick in like 10 plus because it's always the first guy that gets caught. He's like, oh, great, no speeding cameras along here. And he's just clocked at 16 over. And he's like, right, well, I got to be the responsible bloke and nominate it.
Time to see what my fucking SV6 can do.
My tuned up ute. Chuck some mad doughies. Whoa!
Should we read comments? There's only a couple. They're not very long. So Kick Jr. was on the last one, and he's
wow,
got
Kick,
quotation marks. Other teammate. He's calling you out for not remembering him. Yep.
Oh, god damn it.
Horrible
person. That's
person.
right. I'm a terrible person.
Couldn't remember Kick was there to fucking back you up, keep you safe.
That's true. He got me so good.
And Eyehole Man, I come here too often. Hashtag always first. He's usually there in the first inside the first 24 hours. He's seen it and he's commented.
Yeah, Eyehole Man, he's great. Shout out to
I know
Eyehole
that he
Man.
watches the whole thing too, because like sometimes he comments on shit that we're talking about right at the fucking end. So he didn't just like watch the first 10 minutes and then drop a comment and leave. I know that he's watched the whole fucking thing.
God
I've seen some clips of him playing Valorant. He's been putting stuff on Twitter and Instagram.
Oh yeah,
it does look fun. It does look very CS, but he's just watching him play makes me not want to play because I'm like, well, these are the guys that I'd be like 100%. These are the guys who'd end up on the other team from me. And I'm just going to get fucking destroyed every match and not have any fun. So I don't want to fucking play it.
Yeah, Valorant looks interesting. I'd almost be willing to give it a go. Like, I haven't played a lot of shooters in a while, but I think that would be interesting.
We still have to got to plan out the Iron Stag video properly.
The Iron Stag video.
We've got to play some PUBG too. I kind of want to do a video on like the bots and stuff, because I feel like that's going to lead to some
interesting memes.
There's got to be some laughs there. There has to be.
Absolutely.
There's a video of Choco fucking around with the bots just standing there reloading in front of him. Can't land any shots on him.
Jesus. Rip. All right. Are we ready to do some outros, my dude?
Yeah, I guess. Fuck it, man.
Oof. Well, if you guys want to yell at us, you can yell at us on Twitter, twitter.com/ViscerusTV or T1TAN_5150. You can also yell at us live on Twitch, twitch.tv/ViscerusTV or T1TAN5150. No underscore in that second one. You can also watch the podcast live on the YouTube channel at NULLSCORE, and it's also available on all good audio platforms. Is there anything else that you want to mention?
The price of RAM is too damn high.
The price of RAM is too damn high. God damn. Well, don't buy any price fixed RAM, and we will catch you guys in the next one.
Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.
Thanks for watching. Roll the outro, Eddie.
I told you, Eddie went to the tip. He's gone.
He
was in the bin, and the fucking bin man came in.
Oh no, poor Eddie. He was such a good bloody intern as well. What are we gonna do without Eddie?
Yeah, he's so cheap to keep employed too.
Didn't have to pay him anything.
Slept in the bin, fed him like used coffee grindings.
Jesus.
Do you want a coffee that grinds that are nutritious enough to keep you sustained and alive? That's pretty dangerous, actually. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that, kids.
Try and live off coffee grindings. Drink your coffee and then keep the grindings to eat later on.
Jeez, imagine.
Use them in a cake or something. I don't fucking know.